are now tuned into the Order.
Welcome to new Wabu Order Podcast, and I go by the name of Wabu. Today, I got a special guest with me, my man Andre Palmer. Do I gotta say the whole government?
Yeah, man. Most people call me Dre, but Andre Palmer, man. I'm a realtor here in Roanoke, man. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, they good.
They good.
Yeah, they knuckleheads out there, but they all right.
That's what's up.
So you a realtor, right?
Yes, sir.
I ain't gonna front. I don't know nothing about that game.
Okay.
Like, how does that? If a house costs $200,000, what they just got to give you the $200,000? Like, how it go?
So my perspective, I'm either representing the seller or buyer. It just depends for a percentage of the sale. So all the proceeds basically go to the seller. And of course, buyers, they get loans off. Of course, if they paying with cash, that's great because it goes quicker. But pretty much what I do, man, is I try to educate people and guide them on the process, man, and try to help people get out of this rat race with this expensive rent, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. And partake in some ownership. At least be able to leverage, real estate to help their financial, situation.
So, but why is owning a piece of property or real estate so important in today's climate?
For a couple reasons, right? I mean, so there's plenty of tax incentives, of course. Equity, as far as you purchase something at a certain number, of course, the value goes up. You do some improvements, the value goes up. You can pull from that equity line, to make another transaction, to make improvements, to help in any kind of situation, whatever, But I mean, it's definitely important, man, as far as ownership, as far as being able to pass something down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To the little ones.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? You definitely want to leave them something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People want to have a place to call home. You know what I mean? You want to be able to exercise your freedoms in that home.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get them freedoms when you renting. You got somebody telling you what you can do, what you can't do. What color you can paint your walls.
Who could come over? Yeah, they be bug outs. Mm-hmm. Like landlords and all that. They'll tell you who could come over, what time is visiting hours. Like you in a can or something.
Yeah, you got some extremes. You know what I mean? You got some extremes. And like I said, man, right now, I mean, prices is just going up, man. I mean, as far as rental, I mean, the prices of homes is going up as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? We all seeing a little bit of a, inflation.
Yeah.
But at least if you spending that, that monthly mortgage, is better than paying that rent. Because that's going towards, like I said, your equity and ownership in that property. Whereas rent, you just throwing it away.
Yeah. I could dig it. And how long you been in the whole real estate game?
So licensed, I'm pushing 10 years. Before that, man, I've been involved with real estate. More so on the improvement side of things, man. I did a lot of laboring and work for myself. I do got a company as well, LLC, that I do a lot of business under now.
Okay. But your own real estate?
It's a redevelopment company. So like right now, like I told you, I had just left a property we renovating so I can get it ready to put on the market.
For rent or for sale?
For sale.
Okay.
Yeah, for sale.
Do you have properties like for rent and stuff too?
I myself don't have anything for rent right now, but occasionally my investors do. And when they do, I market them to the people and try to,
Okay.
I manage a couple properties for a few people.
All right.
Yeah.
So you going all around. You need to do some courses. You know how them Facebook gurus and them internet gurus be like, give me $1 and I'll make you into a billionaire. You need to jump on that.
Yeah,
I need to jump on that too, though.
Yeah, at some point, sometime. You know what I mean? At some point, sometime. Right now, you learn something with every deal. You know what I mean? So I'm still educating myself as well. You know what I mean?
Always.
The last year has been crazy. I learned a whole lot.
Yeah.
I learned a whole lot. So that's something I would definitely take on at some point in time. But right now, my main focus is kind of working with the people.
So are you gearing up for the I be hearing like it's gonna be a big crash, a stock market crash or one of them crashes.
So, I mean, we all know that what goes up got to come down at some point. So as far as gearing up for it, preparing for it, no, I mean, of course, I'm gonna move when the situation presents itself the way I need to move.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I myself am not looking forward to a lot of people losing their homes. You know what I'm saying? And in situations like that, and I had a conversation with another agent the other day, and we was talking about how do we kind of combat the inflation in the housing market, and ourselves. And I said, maybe just having that conversation with our investors of listing things for, fair price, fair market value, and not just bleeding the market right now. I mean, prices is up in different areas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not trying to get rich off each transaction. Now, of course, you know what I mean. Your obligation is to that customer, to that client. But I still like to deal and do business with a certain integrity. You know what I mean?
And over here, we mostly bring everything back to on the black side. No doubt. How can black people win in real estate?
I try to explain to people this, right? So to answer the question, how can people win, right?
How can black people win?
Getting doors. Getting as many doors as possible. We got to get out of that mind frame that, you know what I mean, you buy a house, I'm going to live here for the next 30 years. It's for my forever home. You understand what I'm saying? And each situation is case specific too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my advice is not the same to everybody. You know what I mean? I tend to sit down with them, and figure out what's going on with them financially and how I can kind of help, better that situation. But as far as winning, I would say is get as much doors as possible because, I mean, when you go to purchase a home, I mean, you're making a decision. So by choice, you're a homeowner, but by default, you're really an investor.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So for instance, I got most people that I sold homes to 2-3 years ago. After the 2 years of owning the property, there's no capital gain. So when you sell, you get to keep your money. But in most cases, a lot of people are making real good money and changing their financial situations. I mean, you got a 30-year mortgage, 2-3 years, you ain't really made no dent in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah.
Yeah. So if you're in a position you can make $50,000 to $100,000.
Bust that move.
Yeah, you bust that move. You might spend that 3.5% down on whatever that new, property is.
Yeah.
But in essence, it's a situation where you could really improve your financial situation, your quality of life, the quality of life for your family, things like that.
I could dig it. And the whole real estate thing, when I look around, it seems like everybody's a real estate agent. Like, is it oversaturated, like the market?
Nah. I mean, especially for, people of color, you know what I mean? Because like I said, it's a small percentage of us, but there's a lot of more people getting their license, which I like to see it. I'm happy, I'm welcoming, I help whoever I can in whatever way I can. The more the merrier. I don't feel like it's saturated because everybody gonna have their own market. You know what I'm saying? Some people's gonna only wanna, work with certain agents.
Yeah.
So you'll always have your, you got your, your family, your friends, and at times they definitely do support and help things. Right? So you're gonna have your own market, your own lane. It's not saturated, man. It's just,
it
ain't easy though. People think it's easy, so they jump.
Yeah, ain't nothing easy. When like people be like always come inboxing me like, yo, I want to start a podcast and all that. This is easy. I'm like, nah, son, you got to give up a big chunk of your life.
Absolutely.
Especially if you want to try to go somewhere. Like, I definitely want to make this huge, want to make it big.
Absolutely.
So I'm taking all of the steps. Like, I'm taking all the steps to get there. Like, I ain't thinking locally.
Of course.
Like most people, they sometimes they think locally. Like, I'm going to keep it real. Honestly, I don't care about nothing local. I really don't care because my heart ain't really in that.
I got you.
I care about global. Busting global moves, you heard?
Absolutely. And definitely I feel that too because it's definitely in the future some some branching off and some expansion into other states and things like that, of course.
Yeah. And I like what you, not to cut you off, bro. I like what you did, like as far as how you stepping up your marketing. Because most people would just, like, you know what I mean, put out some flyers or Facebook things. You start getting billboards. I said, wow, my son everywhere, like on the billboards and on the buses and all of that. And that's a real good thing to do. Like, I ain't seen nobody do that since the real estate agent. What's the Chinese lady, the Asian lady?
I forgot.
She was everywhere with a tiny chung or something like.
I forgot.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
She was doing all of that. And what made you think about that? Like, nah, I gotta step it up. Like, putting money into yourself, because you know a lot of people scared of that.
Yeah, of course.
In every field.
Yeah, I mean, it take money to make money, of course. But I had a buyer's appointment with a lady, right? And I do a lot of business on social media. You know what I mean? A lot of my business comes from social media. Yeah. And it's crazy because she was like, I've been friends with you on Facebook all this time. I didn't even know you sold real estate. So I was like, yeah. What else? It's something else. You know, I'm getting business from that, but it's something else that need to be done just to let people know exactly what I'm doing and who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could kind of put the face with the name and things like that. So it wasn't necessarily a matter of, am I gonna make money back off this? It was a matter of, you know, some positive reinforcement.
Yeah. And it'll come back though. You do it like that. You put that energy out there or that money out there. Yeah. And it'll come back. You know how that go.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of other things I could have spent money on.
That's like you giving out samples. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's going to come back later on.
Absolutely.
I see. I be trying to look at everything like the streets.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, that's
but that applies everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, that's where my sales come from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't have no sales job. I never sold no cars or none of that like that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's no secret. Everybody know. I went away and did some time. I came back and I was like, you know, let's change your product up.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, and that's the message too, man. Anybody, I ain't gonna say anybody could do it, but anybody could do anything you put your mind to. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
If you know how to sell drugs, you know how to sell houses.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? You just gotta inform yourself with the product and you're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a fact. Yeah. Wow. So what's next for you, brother? Because I know you done had a restaurant. That's like the hardest business in the world.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. And more importantly, it's time consuming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You trade a lot of your time, a lot of your hours, a lot of your life for money, and sometimes it ain't all that good. So, you know what I mean. I made a decision like 2 years was enough for me to trade.
Because that's what everybody's is facing right now. It's time. Yeah. It ain't really money. Everything is based off of time. Yeah. So even if you making a lot of money, but you got to give this one thing all of your time, like that doesn't balance out.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's gonna eventually crash. Yeah. It's like you got to do something where it could just sit and bubble on its own. A restaurant, you really can't.
Yeah, something's being neglected.
Yeah, something's being neglected. Word. Yeah, unless you got like a franchise, like a McDonald's or something, you open up. You could just let it do its thing, and you go over there and do what you got to do.
Plus, there's a lot of responsibility for other people too, man. It's like, you know what I mean. You gotta make sure.
Because you had the whole family in the restaurant when y'all was in there.
Yeah, shout out to my family. They really did come through and hold it down.
Yeah, y'all was in there. He had the buffet going on, y'all. He had all that going on.
My family, you know what I mean. My moms was there. My brother was there. You know what I'm saying. My, you know, homeboys, people I knew from Roanoke. You know what I mean? The bartenders, everybody was people I've known and had a relationship already with. You know what I mean. Most of them.
Word.
Yeah. That was a good thing too, but you know.
No more restaurants.
Nah, not you know, not right now, man. Maybe when I'm, you know what I'm saying, older and I want to still cook a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, word.
But nah, not right now, man.
Word. Andre Palmer, man. Let them know where they can find you at everything.
All right, so you can find me on Facebook, definitely. Like I said, I do a lot of business on Facebook. I just set up a website. You probably go to it. It probably look a little crazy right now. It's still in the works.
Under construction?
Under construction, man. But it's listandsellit.com. I'm on Instagram, King of Cribs on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram.
King of Cribs.
Yeah, pretty much all social medias. I do need to, and that was the thing with the billboards too. Marketing and advertising it wasn't one of my strong points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I definitely needed to step out. I was trying to think of ways to kind of step out the box and
think of some creative ways. That's what coming January. I just thought of trying to think of different ways that I could market the podcast, and come January, y'all gonna see different things that I'm doing as far as marketing this podcast and trying to make it as big as it could be. Like I said, I'm wanted to be a hub for media.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Especially involving our people. Word. Andre Palmer.
Definitely involving our people.
Yeah. I do. Word.
Definitely involving, yeah.
And if y'all need a house, holler at the brother. He's professional, so he know what he's doing.
Absolutely.
And it just not like a money grab. Like he just wants your bread.
Yeah, man. And I think that's one of the things, you know what I'm saying, that has made me be, successful too, is not focusing on the money and just focusing on the service, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of time. I mean, it look like you're making a lot of money a lot of times. Sometimes you do, but you know, sometimes you take some L's, you take some shorts too.
Of course.
Yeah, for the
of course,
the greater good of things to move forward. But it's like I said, it's more about loving what you do and the condition of the people. You know what I mean? The same things that, and really these are just things that I'm learning now. You know, I've been learning now too. You know what I mean?
Hold on, I want you to drop one more jewel before you leave.
Absolutely.
If there's any kids or anybody that want information about real estate, how do they start?
All right, so first and this just talking about it's two aspects of it too. You know, you got the first aspect of you want to be an agent, a realtor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of course, the schooling. One school that offers the training is Mosley Dickinson down on Peters Creek.
Yeah.
I took mine at Virginia Western, but they don't offer it there no more. But Mosley does it, so that would be the first step if you want to be an agent.
That's how you get certified.
You get licensed.
And how long?
State board.
How long does that process take?
So the class will probably be about 3 to 4 weeks. Then you got to take your state board, of course. You take your state board, then you just pick whichever firm you want to go to work for.
Yeah.
But I'm, you know what I mean? I have a lot of people that ask me a lot of questions, and so if anybody got any questions, anything, like I say, you can find me on Facebook, Andre Palmer. And you can find me on Instagram, King of Cribs. I'll be happy to kind of point you in the right direction.
Serious inquiries only.
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely like helping people, man. I like, making people's lives around me better. That's the goal. But the second aspect would be investment. And it don't take no license to be an investor. You know what I mean? It just take a little bit of know-how. In some cases,
do you need money?
Capital. In some cases you do, but in others you can use credit, which is, in some cases it's better to leverage other people's money, especially in things like that. You know what I mean? It just depends on your situation. So, I mean, the first step I would think, if you really want to get into the investment aspect, I would say a multifamily. You know what I mean? That would be, and that's what I preach to my daughter and my son, who's of age of now to purchase. They just say they ain't hear me yet, but
they get there.
I know they hear. It's
They'll
gonna click.
there.
It'll definitely get there. You know what I'm saying? But that would be the first, the first step. You know what I mean? And you can do that. It's about verbiage too. You know what I mean? So about knowing. So like I said, I try to make it my business to know as much as possible, so I can help each individual because their situation different.
Yeah. Yeah.
But definitely multifamily. I would, you know what I mean? You could purchase them with a FHA loan to up to 4 units. All right? So a lot of people don't know that. You don't need a 10, 20% down.
Tell them what's the FHA.
FHA. All right, so FHA, Federal Housing Administration, 3.5% down or whatever the purchase price is. All right? Now, if you was going to purchase under, they considered you an investor, you'd be looking at 15 to 20, 25% down.
Yeah.
All right, so with an FHA, you can purchase that up to 4 units with only 3.5% down. And the good thing about the 3.5% down, it could come from a few ways. You can save it up. Somebody could gift you that money, 401k. So it's different ways you could kind of find the money. So maybe you don't have the 3.5% in your bank account, but you've been working for a while. You got 401k. You could pull from that.
Yeah.
So that's a way.
Yeah, let me get that.
Yeah, and then plus it's more of a it's more of a asset than a liability, which all real estate could become a liability, but it's income producing. You know what I mean? So
because you could live in one of them and rent the other ones out. Yeah, and get the bread.
Yeah.
Like, but what about when major things occur, like the pipes bust and all that? That's
so. Like I try to encourage all buyers is when you get into home buying mode or any kind of investing mode, start building up your Rolodex. You know what I mean? Start getting your plumbers, your electricians, your roofers, your people. They might have done work on, some of your friends' house. You might have seen it on social media. The work was good. Of course, check them out.
Yeah.
But start getting these people so that when things do occur, you're all right. I mean, and there's other things as far as you can get home warranties that protect your property for up to a year, or major components and things like that. Sometimes they don't cover a pipe busting or something like that, because those things, they can happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, but if you know where your main water shut off is, you got a good plumber, you could probably fix that inexpensively. You know what I mean? Or even YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of things you could.
Yeah.
That's
YouTube
simple.
University.
Yeah, YouTube is free college.
Yeah, that's a fact.
No
that's
degree, but it's free college. You learn so much. You know what I mean? I use it a lot. And
I got one more question to ask you. I'm only going to ask you this because Brandon here. Real estate or cryptocurrency? I gotta get at Brandon. So, I'm saying which one? I know, but like which one is more important, real estate or crypto?
Now,
and I'm just messing with Brandon right now.
Let me say this right here, right? All right. If with the little bit of knowledge that I do have about crypto, I would say both. You know what I'm saying? I do have some crypto. You know what I'm saying? I do have some real estate, but I haven't completely done the knowledge on the crypto world.
Me either. Yeah, so, and I never seen nobody actually really get like the real cash and be like, "Yo, son, this is from crypto."
I mean, I
haven't seen that yet.
Rolling, but I mean, I got Dogecoin and Shinu and all these other things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I guess maybe sometimes I probably got them a little later. Than it wasn't, but. They all fairly low, so I just get them and
went ahead and got them.
Yeah, one day something happened, it happened. You know what I mean? But like I said, as far as me saying which one, I would definitely say, without having a complete knowledge of that, I would definitely say both. Because if it's, you want to be safe than sorry. If the world is going to transfer over to cryptocurrency, which it is, you know what I mean? It seems like you want to definitely have some. Yeah,
and you see they changing the name of the Staples Center to the crypto.com.
I seen that.
That's so when I seen that, I said, nah, I think this crypto thing might be like really here to stay. I need to really
NFL selling tickets. Yeah. You can buy tickets with
crypto. In crypto, that's crazy. And the rapper Money Man?
Yep.
For his advance, his deal, they gave him his shit in crypto. And the new mayor of New York, he said he want his salary in crypto. So
I think Beyonce did that. They said Beyonce did that.
Beyonce did that
too.
Oh, word.
Yeah, she got paid in crypto or some kind of stock.
So it's here to. So it's here to stay. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was like some fly by night BS.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that, you know what I'm saying. Like I gotta focus on one thing.
Yeah. Master one thing and keep.
Yeah, it's like throwing dust up in the air.
I'm trying to master podcasts, and then I get over there too, man.
But in the meantime, I'll grab some.
Yeah, I could dig it. I could dig it.
In case it do blow, I don't want to be left.
I could dig it, man.
I'm looking at that Sheeny Evil. I'm like, if this joint really pop, oh my gosh.
Yeah, word.
But I mean, as far as real estate, man, it ain't going nowhere. Everybody not, unless, you know what I mean, it ain't going to be a situation where we gonna live off the land like that, man. You know what I mean? Unless something drastic happen. But
I live off the land right now, like John Rambo, eating squirrels and berries. You heard?
I mean, to each his own. But somebody might not want a squirrel. They might want to go get a hamburger or some chicken. But or they don't want to live outside.
Yeah.
Always have people that's gonna want that comfortability, man. So even when they start building the houses, I don't know, in Mars, I would be around sell those.
I could dig it. I could dig it, man.
You know what I mean? But
Well, Andre Palmer, first time here at New Wabu Order. We greatly appreciate it. Yeah, it definitely won't be your last. You could be like our real estate correspondent. Like, yo, now to Andre, see what's going on in the real estate market. Word. But y'all know where y'all heard it first.
now tuned into the Order.